everybody, welcome back to the Goddesses channel, where I channel from the Divine Feminine and bring it to you. So today we're going to be talking about 9 ways to improve your gratitude journaling. So why is gratitude journaling important? I made a video about this already and you can click up here in the suggested to see that already. Gratitude is what brings us joy. Now what this is going to look like to a lot of people is, I'm happy. Look how happy I am. Why can't you be happy? If we're one, why don't you just be happy? Come on, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy. No, it doesn't work like that. Happiness is a lot of work. Seeing other people happy doesn't necessarily make you happy too. In the beginning. But through gratitude, we can even learn to be happy in someone else's happiness. Although I'm using the word happiness, I would say that happiness and sadness are opposites, right? Opposites represent the duality of this world. The duality that's never ending and always persists. We get caught up in that duality because we go up and down, up and down, up and down. We become a victim of our emotions and what happens to us from the outside world. What gratitude really brings us is the joy behind that duality. Gratitude is a way to grasp that and appreciate the things that are going well for you, and to realize that this life is actually a gift from God to experience happiness and joy and pleasure and all these good things, and at the same time be able to separate ourselves from what we don't want, such as sadness or hurt, pain. A way to do this even better is meditation, but I would say gratitude actually improves upon the practice of meditation, so both should be incorporated. So I'm happy, why can't you be happy? You can be happy too. Let's get down to it. So number 1, use it as a way to journal. Were you ever the kid that really wanted to journal? You always heard that it was good for you. You should record what you're going through and you can reflect on it and see the patterns in your life and then improve who you were before, right? I don't know about you, but if you actually started journaling, it doesn't actually help us improve ourselves that much. Yes, it's good for self-reflection. If you're like really hardcore on self-improvement, then you can see where you're going wrong. I think those types of people are rare. They can be hard on themselves and not get down about it, but I think even them can benefit from gratitude journaling. I actually have like several notebooks. When I was younger, I used to get them and I would literally use like 10-20 pages out of like a 200-page notebook and I would just leave it. I would maybe like journal for a week straight, maybe 2 weeks straight, and I would let it go. Because I was like, what's the point of this? Why do I have to write every single thing down? Honestly, when you journal, your mind actually remembers more of the bad things that happened to you in that day, because our ego takes over our mind so much that like that's the only thing it focuses on. And that's natural for us. That's good actually. It's healthy. For children's development, if the ego doesn't develop, the development doesn't happen fully. I also talk about this in my abstract spectrum video, which I'll also link in the suggested above, that there's a process of involution and evolution. So when you involve, you are coming from the unmanifest into the manifest world, and you're involving yourself in all the little nitty-gritty and fearful vibrations here. You're like handling them and you're transforming them, and when you evolve, you move past that and you return to the unmanifest God, which is your true self and which is empty. It's potential energy, and that's peace and oneness. So I would say gratitude is actually a 10 times better way to journal your day. Like, if you wanted to remember the good things that happen in your day, that's what gratitude is. You actually don't write down the bad things that happen. Number 2 is write down your backlog of things that happened into a notes journal. So I actually like to do gratitude every single day, but I can't actually do it. I haven't been able to do it every day, but if you look through my journal, not that I'm going to show anybody, it has an entry for almost every single day. And that's because if I miss a day or 2 or 3 or even a week, I do make sure every night before I sleep just to take 5 minutes and write down the good things that happened in my day in like a backlog of things I'm grateful for. So when I do pull out my gratitude journal, I write down for those days what the good things that happened. It's been working for me, so I would definitely think that can add to your practice. That also ties into number 3, which is do not type out your gratitude. This is because when we use our mind and hand and arm all together connect and we write down the things we're grateful for, it's a greater connection to increase the joy and positivity of the way that we think. The words are more easily programmable into our head rather than typing, because typing is more just like dut, 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 whereas writing is like, okay, L-O-V-E, right? So make sure you grab a notebook and pens and you do with your hands, okay? Don't type it. That's just another way to improve your gratitude journaling practice. And then, I already said it, but number 4 is make sure, I said number 4, that's 8, 4. Get a notebook that you will love to write in. So even if it's expensive, I mean, personally expensive things don't satisfy me, but as long as it's like the pages are nice, a pretty color, or it's like minimalistic, and it just gives you a certain feel when you return to it, right? And I also showed in my first video for gratitude that I have all these rainbow pens and I use those rainbow colors in order, and it makes my notebook look really, really pretty when I write in it. So flipping through it is satisfying too. But I would say don't go as too far as to like start bullet journaling, because I think bullet journaling is like, you look at like Tumblr photos or like Instagram photos and like, oh, they look so pretty. But to me personally, I really think that when you bullet journal, it's like to take a picture of the page. Like, you don't necessarily use it. It takes much longer to write all those fancy words and like shapes rather than actually writing in them and recording the positivity that occurred in your life. You can buy like ready-made bullet journals though that are already pretty inside. That ties back to like, make sure you get a notebook that you're gonna use, right? Number 5 is write a minimum of 3 bullet points a day. So that's like the standard anywhere on the internet. Wherever you read about like, oh, gratitude journalists help me a lot, there's always like 3 things that have happened in the day that are probably really good. Like, even if it's like, oh, I woke up on time, like I'm so happy, or I'm glad I got to see my favorite coworker, like we had so many laughs today. See, all these little things like you forget about, but like even if at the end of the day you only remember 2, just like push your mind and be like, I'm sure there's a 3rd thing that I'm grateful. Oh yeah, I had a really tasty snack like in the middle of the day today. Like, I totally forgot about that. And this pushes your mind to see like all the positive things that are happening all around you. Some days like you might even have 1, or you might have like 0 things that you couldn't even be that grateful for, but I promise you a minimum of 3 a day is going to show you that there are still amazing and positive and joyful things happening in your life even on the worst of days. And it's usually the simplest things that make us happy. I'm sure you've heard like the simplest pleasures are the best things in life. And I promise you that is so true. Like, even if your best friend gave you a piece of their chocolate cookie that day, or like you saw a fluffy dog on the street and the owner let you pet it, or you were able to finally master that dish that you've been wanting to cook, you know, like all these simple things in life is where our true happiness comes from. Like, you'll actually realize that, okay, so the days that I was able to buy the car of my dreams, or I was able to ask out the person I've been eyeing for so long. When you write that one thing down alongside the other 2 for that day, or like compare it to the previous days of what you've written, you'll realize it's given me the same amount of pleasure as my best friend sharing a piece of their cookie yesterday. You know, like the simplest things are actually what give us joy each and every day. And this is what the practice of gratitude actually is. It's realizing that there is so much more joy hidden behind the suffering that we go through every day, that if we just turn our mind and we focus on the good things, bro, like 90% of the things going on in our life are actually going well. It's only the 10% that our ego mind is involved in and it keeps us suffering. That's why I highly encourage you to continue your gratitude. It'll literally level up your life. It's like nothing else. Honestly, it's helped me way more than meditation. Meditation has allowed me to connect to oneness and find peace in everything. Not be hurt when situations are painful in the midst of them. But Gratitude is what keeps me going every single day. That's why I'm making my second video about it. I'll probably make a million more. Who knows? Number 6. Use a habit tracker app. A habit tracker app is basically something that you go into and you mark every day that you've done a habit and it rewards you, right? I've actually used both Fabulous and 𝘂𝘗𝘎𝘈. 𝘂𝘂𝘶 is really cute. I tried to use it for a while, but my favorite is absolutely HabitShare. It's more minimalistic and you can just mark something. There's no rewards. 𝘂𝘂𝘈 and Fabulous gives you rewards. They actually gamify keeping up your habits every day. If you like that sort of thing, it'll totally work for you. But I do personally like HabitShare more. The reason why it's called HabitShare is because you share your habits with your friends. So when you mark a habit for one day, your friends that you share the habit with will get the notification, and then like the next time they talk to you, or they can just message you when they see it, they could say, oh, congratulations, or not congratulations, like good job, I'm proud of you, and it keeps each other accountable. And if you haven't seen a friend's notification for a while, you can go and ask them, oh, how's it going? How's your gratitude? How's your meditation? How's your exercise habit going? I do it with a couple of my friends and it works really well. If you want to add me as a friend on HabitShare, my username is 𝘀𝘗𝘕𝗂𝘋𝗌. If it doesn't work, let me know in the comments below. I could totally like give you my email. Sometimes I think you have to add your friend's email instead of their username. I forgot. Okay, number 7, lucky number 7. That's my life path, by the way, if you're into numerology. I would say this is actually the most important bullet point, besides write 3 every day, is that make sure you feel joyful as you're writing your bullet points every single day. I mean, this is your time to focus on the positive that's happened to you, right? Why would you not want to feel happy? But sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes like it's been a particularly hard day, or you're going through a rough patch in your life and it's just really hard to focus on the goodness. But that's what gratitude is about. So I would highly encourage you, however long it takes you in the day. It typically takes me around 15 to 30 minutes. But gratitude should, in the beginning, it should only take 5 minutes. Like you should just write quick 3 sentences, or even like three bullet points of a few words. But even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, fake being happy. Like fake it till you make it, you know? That actually works for us, I promise. It's like a neurological thing. For those 5 minutes, feel happy. Like, okay, oh my god, I was so happy when I was cutting that dog today. Oh yeah, thank you God. If you're not religious, you don't have to say thank you God, but you could be like, wow, thank you universe, like that was a really cool thing you brought. Oh yeah, I was able to finish that project at work today. Oh, that's really good, I'm glad I got it out of the way. Yeah, forget about your worries, forget about your burdens for those 5 minutes and just focus on the positivity and just download what God has given you, what God has gifted you, which is that your life has so much more joy and pleasure in it than the 10% of suffering that it actually is. This 90% of joy is what gets us through. During the times in my life that I've dropped my gratitude practice, it's maybe been for like a couple weeks till maybe a couple months. Things have been so much harder for me. Like it was harder for me to go through the hard situations. That's because like I was focusing on the hardships so much that I couldn't see the 90% of good things continued happening. And that's why I have to keep going back to gratitude. Like I will be doing it for the rest of my life. I swear, like it's life-changing. I also talked about this in my first gratitude video, which is that this is the way that you improve your manifestations. So if you're into the law of attraction, if you're into manifesting things into your life, because we are all creators whether you know it or not, gratitude, focusing on the good stuff in your life, uplifts your vibration. It brings you higher on the Hawkins scale. Higher up you go, there's positivity, there's love, and you align with the things that God wants you to have. God as in your inner self, your God. You want yourself to have a best friend that loves and cares for you and is not toxic, right? You're trying to manifest a best friend who will support you through everything. Once you align higher with love, the inner God self of you that desires it will know that you're aligning with that positive friend of yours, and it will bring it into your life. I actually bring that up because when we're manifesting, whatever type of activity that you do to manifest, a lot of people, they meditate and they put out the desire as they're meditating, or they do the 5-5-5 method. I've tried that. It's basically writing 55 sentences of what you want for 5 days straight. 555. 5 is the number of change in numerology. But like, your God self actually knows what it is that you desire. Like, you're sending out rockets of desire all the time. The only thing we have to do is bring up our vibration so that we can align with what it is that our God self has desired for us. I talked about this in my remove your anxiety video, that our God self never desires anything wrong for us. It does not desire to hurt other people or to bring us suffering or to want to continue in hard situations. It will always want positive relationships. It will always want beneficial things for both us and other people, like both people winning instead of one losing and one winning, right? And that's how you know that our God self is of a higher vibration. And gratitude is when you focus on these higher vibrations. Higher vibrations are most of what is around us. So I also talked about this in my abstract spectrum video, is that 90% of the molecules around us are negative space. And that negative space is that divine feminine, the potential energy, the emptiness of nothingness, of real God. What we are, what our mind can see and perceives, is the physical molecules themselves, the kinetic, the ego self, the fear embodied world. So what we have to remove ourselves from is that world, and we have to return to the positive energy of God, which is nothingness, right? That's the divine feminine. Thank you, goddess. I'm literally channeling from her right now. But also thank you, God, because if it wasn't for the divine masculine, which is the fearful vibrations, the physical reality of everything itself, I'm squishing a pillow because I'm trying to show the physical items in this world. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be able to awaken. We have to go from the feminine to the masculine and back and forth and back. That's just what life is. So thank you, both of them. Thank you, oneness. Number 8. Don't be distracted. Don't watch TV as you're gratitude journaling. Don't brush your teeth as you're... That's not even possible. You'll get your whole journal wet. Unless you have like waterproof journal. That's probably not a thing. Yeah, just don't be distracted. Don't be talking to your best friend on the phone. Don't be talking to your mom, like updating her on the day. Hey mom, like these are the good things that happened. No, this is time for you. This is time for you to connect with the positivity in your life. Download it all, remember it, channel it through your arm, into your hands, into your fingers, into the pen, onto the notebook, to remember forever. Wow, so many things have gone well for me. Look at all these notebooks that I'm filling up, right? I haven't brought my notebooks with me, but I'm on my 4th one now and I'm almost about to finish it. Dude, it's the best feeling in the world. Like, how have all these amazing things happened to me? All these amazing things. Like, my life is filled with so many more gifts than actual hurdles and challenges and like pain. That's amazing. Most of us don't even know that. We're only focused on the pain. Anyway, that's my rant. And this distraction point ties into number 9. The last one, or is it? Designate a certain time of the day when you do gratitude journaling. So some people do it in the morning, some people do it at night. Middle of the day would be weird unless like every single day of yours is the same and like you have a very specific time in the middle. I don't know, like if you have study hall or like you eat lunch at a very specific day every day. But even then, like what if you're traveling, right? What if you're on vacation? Your days might be different. So I would say either beginning of the day or end of the day. I do it at the end of the day when I'm winding down and I want my dreams to be positive. I want to go to sleep imagining that, yes, so many good things have happened. Like, you know, it's usually the end of the day when you're thinking about what has happened. That's when you're like, oh my god, my life sucks, right? It's usually not in the morning, because in the morning you're like, wow, it's a new day, I can get anything I want to do done. So yeah, I personally prefer end of the day. I'm also like loopy in the morning because I'm a Pisces and like it takes me a while to get out of my sleep. I also like some days I'm like rushing to get ready because I wake up late. I like to finish my dreams or just like lay in bed and remember what I dreamt about so I can write in my dream journal. But yeah, designate a specific time in the day to do gratitude. That was number 9. And I have a 10th one, a bonus for you. Oh, you didn't see that coming. Number 10, the number of completion. As I talked about in number 7, I'll just remind you, number 7 was feel good as you're writing it, right? So number 10 is a way to actually manifest what you want in your life. So if there's something you're manifesting, I gave the example of a best friend that always supports you and loves you and is not toxic at all. If you're manifesting that, I want you to write as a fourth. I can't even count. As a fourth item, I want you to write that. I want you to write, I'm grateful for this best friend of mine who supports me so much, who is not toxic whatsoever, unlike, well, don't say the negative things. Only write the positive things, okay? Cut that out, cut that out. I'm gonna say that again. I'm so grateful for this positive friend of mine who is so emotionally healthy. They supported me through this hard time in my life. I'm so ready to support them too. They always want the best for me and they're never jealous. Just write things like that. Like, write the thing that you don't even have. Like, you're actually grateful for something that isn't in your reality. This will actually trick your subconscious mind to show you that, well, if you're already feeling very happy, right? You're faking it. Hopefully you're not faking it, but in the beginning you have to fake it to make it. Your subconscious mind will start seeing that in your world and it will pick out that person for you, or it will like literally create whatever you're manifesting. This is the true power of subconscious programming. Like, it is the emotions that you're tying into gratitude journaling, right? That's why we're doing it every day, so we can see all this positivity should make us more happy, more joyful, and more loving. Because of that, we're actually better creators and we're able to create it so much quicker and easier. Exactly what we desire. Because we know it's best for us and we can. That's why we can, because we're not trying to manifest, oh, I want to hurt that girl named yada yada. She's so mean to me, blah blah blah. That's not your God self. That's your ego self that wants to hurt someone else. When you want to attract someone, when you want to support someone, want someone positive in your life, it doesn't have to be a person, but this is the easiest example for me right now. Your God self wants to give that to you, and through gratitude is how it can give it to you, because you align higher and you trick your subconscious mind that, look, dude, this is actually my life. Like, it doesn't even matter to me that I don't see it, but I know that it's in my life. And that's like truly, I would say, like one of the fastest ways to manifest something, because you're already writing things that are in your reality. You 100% know you saw that beautiful dog that day, or your best friend giving you a cookie, right? You 100% know that happened in your past day, or whenever you're writing it for. Then you're slipping in, I'm so grateful for my best friend who supports me. Thank you. And then your subconscious mind's like, what? Oh, okay, so this person's in their life. We have to scramble and make it. We have to be. So you suddenly see that person and you become their friend, and it's like so amazing that this works. Like, honestly, I can't even say anything else besides the fact that this 100% works, and I've used this to like nearly manifest everything in my life. So yeah, guys, thank you for staying until the end of the video. I love you so much. If you like my content, please feel free to like. I would love it if you do, and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. See you in the next video. I'm going to be talking about how to concentrate and connect more to potential energy. Wrapped up in this world. It's so windy.